All right, hello everybody. Happy Sarah or Shara or Sharon or a lot of other S-named people. A Saturday or Sunday to you all. I hope you've all had a good weekend so far. Thank you for bearing with me that, like always, the stream has started late, so I appreciate your patience. But welcome everybody. Hello, hello. Yo, dude, there's so many people here. Hello, hello to Teron. Welcome. Also Mystery. Hello. Gotta drop my Olympic fun time for this. I appreciate it. Thank you. I know I was watching women's beach volleyball earlier today. I was like, well, the Olympics will always... We can replay that, right? But yo, Sora too, welcome, and Jitensha. Shaolin Punk, what a name. That's like the whole, shoot, what was that? Shaolin Showdown. Does anyone remember that on like Kids WB? Wow, that I feel so old thinking about that. Damn. Oh, dude, Alira too. Hello, hello. Okay. Oh wait, well, I mean, it's technically Alia. Okay. I feel like that's an endearing nickname at this point. Alira, my screw up of your name. M, hello, welcome, welcome. I hope you're feeling okay, you know, from all your shots, the vaccine side effects and stuff. Hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, here we go. Let me get rid of this art thing really quick. Here we go. Yay! Okay, wait, the chat. I have to fix the chat so I'm not like blocking it. YouTube chat. Wait a minute. We're fixing what this chat looks like. I guess that's okay. It's kind of sad how YouTube, I don't know, as much as like streaming on YouTube is really good in a lot of ways because like you always get a transcoding slot and stuff, but it's just the chat always just, I wish they had a better way to implement chat on YouTube, but it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. But let's see. Let me open the actual tier list now. Hello, guys. This is such a long list. And it doesn't even include, like, some lists I've seen that are on Tier Maker have even more characters. I'm just like, whoa, that's like too much, too long. As in, like, this is only main characters, like party members and main NPCs, like not as much as I love all the NPCs, right? We all love the NPCs, right? Like, it's not like just a list of NPCs, though there's a tier list for that, and I'm actually excited to do that at some point with you guys, like a tier list of just only NPCs, you know? So, yeah. Also, dude, oh my gosh, there's so many people. Hello, Isaiah and Anon Amos, Ias and Victoria, Logic, Kick Curves. Welcome, guys. Mr. Boom Blasta. I'm sorry if I miss you know, your name, but hello. I just want to say hello. Thank you for tuning in for the tier list. Oh, dude, also Tyler is here. Yeah, Kids WB. Do you remember that, guys? Remember when Kids WB, back when we still had, like, antenna? Like, what was it called? Not satellite. It was like when we still had antennas for, like, TV sets. You know, that time. Kids WB on Saturday mornings. But let me say this before we start, that as the title of the stream says, we are going from Sky through the Crossbell games too, so there will be spoilers for the Crossbell games. I am going to be talking about Sky Arc, the Crossbell games, and the entirety of Cold Steel, so CS1 to 4 in its entirety, like all spoilers for those games are like fair game in this tier list. So I would hate to spoil anyone, so preface, if you do not want to be spoiled about any of those arcs or any individual game that's like listed in there, it might be better to just avoid the stream. Just, that's a warning, a heads up. And also, I will not be talking about Hajimari, or as we finally know in the West, guys, Reverie. I won't be talking about Reverie because I have not played it. And I would very much appreciate that you do not share any spoilers, anything about Reverie. Not only for my sake, but a lot of people in the chat, I believe, are also, you know, like, they have not played it either. So thank you guys, thank you for, you know, respecting my wishes, and also everyone else in the chat for that matter. But we are going to probably break this tier list into two, potentially, because I always I like misjudge or miscalculate how long tier lists take me to do. So we're probably going to be cutting this into 2 streams. So this is like part 1, okay guys, this is part 1. I want to see Lady do a Divine Knight tier list. Wait, there's not that many of them. I feel like that wouldn't be much of a tier list, but I think, who was it? Isaiah suggested like an S-Craft tier list, and I was also like kind of wondering what other ideas of tier lists we could do. That was such a good idea. Like, I would be down to do an S-Craft tier list, guys. Like on another stream. That would be so much fun to do. Man. But okay, guys, let's go. I guess I'm just gonna go in order, okay? Oh, also, as you can see, guys, look at how my tier list is, like the tiers, look at what they're called. As you can see, as a person, I have a very hard time, like, I don't know, like, straight up hating a character. Like, I think it's because they are in a medium where it's not like real life, it's not a real life story, that it's like, it's fantasy, so I can kind of remove myself like a little bit more. It's easier than like in real life, right? Where I'm gonna be honest, everyone, I think it's disingenuous to say like I can't hate people in real life. Like, that's not true. Like, we all have people who like we hate in real life. So when it comes to games, books, TV shows, that kind of stuff, like fictional mediums and stuff, that's when I find it very hard to hate a character. It's more like I might potentially dislike a character, as in like the nah category. That this is just it. Nah category isn't probably straight up hate. It's just more like something really irks me about a part of that character, even though there's a lot of parts of them I do like. So it's just the negative outweighs the positive of their character for me. Or maybe it just means Nah can also mean like they didn't really have any role in the story. Really, like it's just they didn't add that much to the story. So that's what this tier list is. It's just a lot of nice tiers. Cause even We're Cool is just like, I like the character, you know? I mean, it's more like I have nothing against you. You're cool, yeah. No Cedric, Crown Prince, and Kurt Vander's rival. Wait, do we not have that? Wait a minute. Dude, oh shit. Okay, I might have to add that for next stream. Dude, I didn't even like look at all of, wow, this is sad. Well, guys, you know what's gonna happen for next stream? I'm gonna have to add everyone that we did that is not on here. Wow, yeah, now that you guys are talking about it, there's so many people who aren't on here. Damn. Okay, I have to add like, yeah, oh, how did I miss this? There's no new class 7. Oh my god. How did this happen? Dang. And there's no Cedric here, right? Yeah, like where's my Cedric? Damn it. That's bad. Part 2 has Anton. Is Anton in here? Oh, I might have to add him too. Oh man. Okay, well guys, if you're in the Discord, freaking maybe make a note of who I'm missing. Oh god, I don't know where you should type that in. I don't want to like take up all of general text, lol. Where can you guys put it? Maybe in like, maybe put it in CS4 chat. If you're on the Discord, like name people who I totally forgot in there, please. Thank you, because this is sad now that I look at it. But okay, let's start. We are starting with, I'm really glad he's first, even though I did not make this tier list, guys. As in, like, I did not insert all the portraits or the characters. I just renamed the tiers. So I'm like, of course, my boy Machias is first. He is probably the character who I have the most like fondness for, and that is so contrasted with, I feel like, a lot of the more general, I guess, like community or fan base's view on Machias. Because I know that out of all the class 7 characters, the old class 7 characters, I think he gets a lot of like hate, and it makes me kind of sad, because he has such an amazing like arc in that it's very subtle. His like, sure, his arc in CS1 is not subtle at all, right? But like CS2 onwards, it's very, very subtle. Like it's all in his bonding events, and like if you talk to his NPC, like he just like mellows out. I think that's the thing. Like he learns to remember how in CS1, of course, he makes a totally bad first impression. He's such an asshole, right, to like Usis or whatever, and then he's like fucking stuck up for pretty much all of the first half of the game. So I understand, I guess, why people don't like those kinds of characters, because I have seen like any character who makes a bad first impression, a lot of the times like people's opinion or attitude doesn't change in the end, even if they like change and get better, you know. I have a fondness for fictional characters who have a lot of flaws, who like start off very flawed and then, you know, have a lot of like growth they go through. But then like CS2, okay guys, one of my favorite bonding events in CS2 was how, so you know how Machias along with Fee and Elliot, they have so much gratitude and they feel kind of indebted to Celtic. And, you know, like out of all the towns we know in CS1 and CS2, Celtic gets kind of, you know, screwed up, you know, like really effed up in Cold Steel terms, am I right? And so I love his bonding event right after I think it was like right after we arrested Duke Alberea. He wants to pay tribute to Otto and also all the people who helped him, like helped them while they were in Celtic. And so it's like this really solemn but also like hopeful bonding event where he just buys these flowers from the store, and he and Reen go to like the bridge right in Bereahard, and they just like offer the flowers as like tribute to like the people who, you know, like suffered and whatever in the town. So it's just like, I don't know, I thought that was just such a really touching bonding event, and it was just so, it was so like subtle because it was so mellow. Maybe that's the thing I want to describe his personality as the games go on. He just really mellows out compared to like Cold Steel 1, because even a lot of his like reactions to, you know, Milliam and Eustace and stuff, they get a lot less like punchy, you know, compared to Cold Steel 1. It's just, yeah, it's so, he's such a cool character. I don't know. And I think he's such a good like role model for the like new class 7 members in like 3 and 4. So, man. Oh, and CS4. Oh my god. CS4's bonding event was so good, guys. You know, bulk of people missing are those of CS3 and 4. Oh, yeah, dude. Daft. That is so true. Dang. Look at all the CS4 people who are missing, by the way. Sorry, that was kind of like a tangent back to, yeah, there's a lot of characters missing on this. But yeah, so Machias, also because his CS4 bonding event, where it makes it come full circle, right? Remember how he was like pissed at Nobles at the beginning because of like the guy who screwed over his sister? Well, it was like the guy's family, really, but still, like, he was complicit in it, like screwed over his, not sister, his cousin, and then she took her own life, right? Oh my god, that bonding event was amazing! When he actually, like, met him again, and he's, like, mature enough to say, this isn't the way to go, man. Don't try and, like, get revenge on your people, you know? Don't do that. Violence is not the option. Let's do it together, like through legal means. Work with my dad again. All this stuff. That was so awesome. That was such a good bonding event. If you don't know what I'm talking about, reload a save file, guys. When you're at the Ortis bonding event area. I forgot what act it was. It was either Act 2 or Act 3. But yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, reload your save file and do Machias's bonding event for that. So, because of this, I feel like I'm going to rate him way higher than most people, and that's, I freaking love this character. Like, out of OG Class 7, I don't know. It might not be like, I don't really like him for his role in the story purposes. He's not like Usus, where I really, really respect and love the character because he remains relevant, you know, throughout the whole arc. It's just more of like, I'm so fond of this character, you know. Also because I like his crafts because they have such a huge range and they cost like super low CP, and in CS3 and 4 you can build him to just break things really easily. So yeah, that's really funny. Anyway, guys, we're moving on to Agito. Oh wait, what was it? Machia's hate for Noble started after Elsa, his cousin, killed him. Yeah, exactly. Oh, interesting. Yeah, but he seems kind of forgotten. Might be because I never use him. You know, Mr. Boom, I do understand that. I think I have heard that, you know, because there's so many characters, I don't blame a lot of people. It's like, the game chucks so many characters at you as an option that for a lot of people, they just kind of, they pick their party and they try to just go through the game with just that party, right? So for a lot of people who like don't choose to build Machias or anything, it's like he's just forgotten because he's never in the game, like gameplay wise, and he's just chilling there for the most part for most people because they don't do the bonding events, which is totally not, I don't blame anyone's fault on that regard. It's more of like a Falcom, come on, why? Like, why did you lock this behind a new game plus? They should have just given us all the bonding points so we could do all the ones we want, you know? But burst time, go burr, yeah. You failed your inspection. That's the best line ever. Wow, like, man, Bosco must have had such an amazing time just voicing Machias's crafts and S-crafts in CS3 and 4. Ooh, I only started using Machias in CS3 and 4. I mean, it's never too late. You love to hear it, Victoria. I love that. Heck yeah. Does anyone have the link to the list Lady is using? Well, for this list, I think it's just... Wait. Oh no, I don't want to exit out of this because I don't want to like lose. Wait a minute, let me see if I can get a link to the list I'm using. Yeah, okay, I found it. This is it. I'm using this list. And it's definitely missing a lot. As we've already noted. Alright, guys. Agate time! Agito! So, Agate. He's cool, you know? Definitely, I feel like as I was saying with Machias earlier on too, like they're kind of similar, Machias and Agate, with the role they play in their party, you know? Like they're the very hot-headed, very like, I want to work by myself, I don't want to work with these like fools or something, whatever kind of characters, you know? Like at the very beginning of their arc, when you first meet them, you know, I think they fill in a similar role when it comes to party dynamics. So Agate, it's just like, he has a great arc. It's written really well. I love how he learns from Luve. Like his dynamic with Luve is really, really cool to see how, you know, he was able to let go of like what Luve told him to let go. But then if I get more into that, then I feel like I'm starting to talk about Luve as a character more and not so much Agate. But yeah, he's basically just like that trope of, he's the archetype of like jerk with the heart of gold, right? Like at the end of the day, he's still a bracer, even if he's very speaking of bracers, like you have to brace yourself for him. Like he's very he's not the type I feel like you would usually think of who is doing that kind of work to, you know, help the community, help people, do commissions like that. But he is a bracer through and through right from the beginning of the game. So you know that like at the end of the day, he has a heart of gold. And it's like, remember, yeah, when he freaking saved Tita, you know, gets like fucking poisoned, man, like rip Agate, yeah, this is cool. So Agate and Tita, their dynamic is really wholesome in Sky. I really love how, yeah, like he was able to overcome the thing that was holding him back, you know, like the probably survivor's guilt, you know, that like his sister died on his watch, even though it's not his fault, you know, that she died. So yeah, I do agree. I've seen some of you in chat talking about Luve. I mean, not Luve. Why did I say Luve? Agate. I agree with you in the sense where I really wish they are not trying to like up the ante with the Agate and Tita ship. Like, I understand, I have no problem with Tita having like the crush on Agate, because I think that is actually very realistic, I think, for a lot of girls her age to kind of have like their first crush or something on like a dude who's like kind of a little bit older than them. But it's just like, please don't like shit, like don't make Agate like he doesn't have to reciprocate that. Like, please don't do that, Falcom. That's me. That's my view on it. Please, like, if they want to keep hyping up like Tita's attempts to like get his attention, that's fine to me. I think that's realistic. I just think it would be very great for him to just, you know, maybe that could be a really good example of a non-oblivious one-sided crush. Like, I would really like to see someone who is not oblivious and eventually has to kind of turn down someone nicely. You know? Like, let's go back to like Chloe and Joshua and Estelle days, remember? Like, sorry, I'm just Gotta turn you down, you know. That would be interesting to me. It'd be sad, you know, for like Tina or whatever, but like, hey, she's gotta learn, right? So, yeah, you would hope, man. That is my view on it. Okay, I will say though, like the CS3 thing that that like Agate and Tina sitting in a tree, that actually was, as much as I don't like them like shipping it out all out like that, I was not expecting something that like Narmy in the localization. So that's actually, I didn't mind that. So Agate, you're going into we're cool tier, okay? Very cool. Oh, interesting. Mr. Boom says my first interaction with him was CS3. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, because I guess you went through like the Cold Steel arc first. Yeah, no, I mean, no big problems there. Seemed like an okay dude. Then I played the start of Sky 1. Real asshole at the beginning. I see, this is why when it comes to the order that people play these games in, at the end of the day, I don't think there's any real, like, aside from, like, CS4, in my opinion, is the one that you really, you can't scoot around not knowing the Sky or the Crossbell arc. CS3 is more of, like, to me, personally, CS3 is, like, a very fine line. You could potentially, I mean, I don't want to say like it's not great to start at CS3, right? But like I think you can go from CS1 and play all the way up into CS3 and finish CS3 without actually really knowing too much about Sky or Crossbell. And you know, you'll still be like okay. I like to think though that the order of the games, the way you play them, really doesn't matter too much, in the sense where, like how you said he seemed like an okay dude when you met him for the first time in Cold Steel 3, right? And then like Sky 1, you see where he started from, so you get that journey with Agate, you know, wondering how did he go, like, how did he go from that to, you know, like, who he is in CS3? So it's just a different way of experiencing the story, but you're still getting the journey part of it, you know? Like, you're still experiencing the journey of the character's arc and everything, so, yeah. Don't bring Elise up in my presence. Well, speaking of Elise, we are ranking now her best friend, the princess herself, Princess Elfin. Princess Elfin, dang, like, the funniest thing is that even though she has a lot less active role in the story in CS3 and 4 onwards, I really like the direction of her importance in the story and her role in the story from CS3 onwards, if that makes sense, guys. Like, Elfin, the biggest thing I really liked about her character is in like CS4, where she's a really huge foil to Cedric, because she's still, as you know it, like, she opposes all of Osborne's stuff, and she's still fighting on, you know, like, Reen's side, or the, all the people who are countering, like, Osborne's faction or whatever. And I like how she stands by that the whole time, while also still being a very, like, sympathetic character. in that, like, she has all this responsibility on her shoulders because her bro is gone, like the crown prince is gone. So she's basically like the heir to the throne, right, at this point. So yeah, I don't know, it's just like she's in a really tough situation. She doesn't have a huge role in CS3 or CS4, but I can like feel for this character a lot, for Elfin. And plus, like, I just really like her personality. Like, she has a personality that I really jive with, if that makes sense. You know, I like the kind of teasy, I like the girls who are kind of teasing in that way. A little snarky, a little teasy, like, Muse, of course, right? Like, both of them are pretty similar in that way. I really enjoyed her confronting Cedric in that bonding event. Yeah, absolutely. That was so great. That was one of my favorite bonding events because it said so much about both her and Cedric. Yeah, Princess Elfin, I'm so glad people in stream, like, when I was still streaming Cold Steel 4, they definitely were like, lady, you're not gonna be disappointed with Elfin's bonding event. Like, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. I was like, okay, like, I know nothing about what it's gonna do, but we're gonna do it. And then I was like, oh my god, this was so much character development for both of them, for Cedric and for Elfin. So yeah, that was, I don't want to call it character development, but like character, like, arc exploration, like character exploration for both of them. Like, that was such a good bonding event. But yeah, CS2 too, I really enjoyed kind of seeing how, like, how technically they might not have executed it that well, but how much of a role, like, in the political game, like how much of a freaking importance she has to any kind of political game and maneuvering people have. So that was kind of sad how she was on the Pantagruel for that reason, to, you know, help the Noble Alliance still put on a good face to the public, while at the same time she's just there all alone by herself on the Pantagruel with some like creepy Ouroboros people and stuff. Yeah, so that was awesome. Points to, that was a really cool intermission. I was not really expecting that. That was really cool. But yeah, so CS2 intermission, that, taking that into account, because that was fun to play with her in that way. Yo, hella dope. She's in hella dope tier. I like her. I like her a lot. Next up after oh no, look at, oh my goodness, guys, are we going to have a waifu war starting, everybody? All right, it's Elisa. I, like all of you, I will never fail to come running to defend that Elisa is not as tsundere as you think, and she does apologize very soon in literally the first chapter of the game. She doesn't go through all of CS1 like being mad at Rain. So I will, like the Yukari defense squad, I am on the Yukari defense squad in Persona 3 fandom, okay? Elisa, I'll be like, yo, I can understand not liking the character because of personal preference. That's fine, you know. But can we at least discuss the facts about a character, okay, guys? People who say like she goes through all of Cold Steel being like mad at Rin, that is just not factually true. That is not factually true. She apologizes before they leave for Keldic in chapter 1. So I just wanted to clear the air, okay? That's the facts, all right? The scene before they leave on the train to Keldic for their first field study, she apologizes to Rin. So there we go. That's like the baseline that we have to establish, okay? Wow, what a epic track that's starting right now. Wow, this is like war, guys. It's defend Elisa, even though Elisa is not my favorite of old class 7 by far, but I will come rushing to defend, okay, that part of her her character. So guys, Elisa, the thing that I think probably bothers me a lot about her arc, and it's kind of sad because it's technically not really her fault, you know, for this part that I'm gonna say next, is that the fact that Black Alberic and that whole storyline seems kind of like tacked on a little, in the sense where I think they were trying to me, it feels like they were trying to sort of make Elisa really relevant again, in a sense, because a lot of other characters were kind of overshadowing her sometimes. Aside from, you know, like her stuff with her mom, because I do really like that. Every time Elisa is actually on screen and going through her arc, I really like her character. Cause like, you know, she has to learn to not push away people, you know, because at first she was just pushing away her mom, but then she overcomes that whole like I'm gonna be pissed at my mom, like that more like immature teenager adolescent way of dealing with people, right, that you have a hard time with, and she goes to like being, you know, she cares a lot for her mom, and I loved all those scenes in Cold Steel 1, you know, in the Rhineford chapter. It's just like, yeah, it's just a lot of her mom, Elisa and her mommy issues. But I understand, like, the Franz Rhineford, I just feel like they weren't really trying to make it seem like a mystery. Not that they, like, super had to, because that's not the point of the story, but it's just, it feels very out of left field, and not in the way that like Professor Elba and his reveal in like Sky FC, like that did not feel out of left field, you know what I mean? Versus Black Alberic, it's just like Elisa, part of her story bothers me because Black Alberic seems so tacked on in CS3 onwards. Like there's really, it doesn't feel like there's a leading plot line from CS1 and 2 to like, oh, he's alive, wow, oh my god, you know. And I feel like they might have actually written that in maybe as a plot point a little later on, because they might have been trying to bring Elisa, because I know she's the canon love interest they're trying to push to us, you know, to make her feel more relevant. in the game again, in the story again. So it's just like, oh, if her dad is working with Osborne, who is Reen's dad, oh my god, what a calamity, you know? I get what they were trying to go for, but it didn't sit that well with me because of that. But also, I will say I very muchos appreciate her friendship with Ellie. Ellie is a little bit, I don't want to say she's underrated, but kind of like Machias, I have a fondness for Ellie. So I really like that she has this really nice friendship with Ellie McDowell from Crossbell. And you know a lot more if you actually talk to them in the NPC rounds every time they're around. So yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say about Elisa. Elisa, I mean, if you want me to Tyler, I guess like I never really was thinking about these ratings as like craft, as in how useful they are on the battlefield, because I feel like that's, to me, it's a little bit of a different I guess like a different ranking system for this tier list. I know on one hand it's good to think of the entire character as a whole, like with both their crafts, how they are in battle, how useful they are, along with the role in the story and the character and everything. But I think personally for me, sometimes I see characters in like sort of a different light when it's just their crafts and stuff. It is incredible though. Like that, yeah, like you guys say, that heavenly gift is fucking broken. That's probably one of the most broken crafts in the entire game. And I mean, that's awesome. Who doesn't want freaking dodge for days? Just dodge for days. But dude, oh my god, Casual Gladio, holy shit. Thank you. Oh my god, I didn't even know I had super chats enabled, but oh my god, thank you for the $10 super chat. Damn. Thanks. Yeah, legit, thank you so much. The canon love interest thing is problematic. If you don't romance her, Elisa feels like a creepy stalker who lives in her own separate reality where she thinks she's your girlfriend. Yeah, I mean, that's the sad thing is that that's really not the fault of the character though, right? Like, that's not really her fault that she comes across that way. It's more of Falcom with them trying to, you know, let us, like, we can't have our cake and eat it, right? When it comes to the continuous storyline of Trails. By that, I mean, it's way too difficult to try to give players a sense of, like, a feeling that they have agency in choosing their love interest, yet at the same time, like, making it so you have to write in a canon love interest. So in later games, like, for example, Lloyd and Ellie, like in later games, that couple can be like brought back, right? So it's just, I think it's more unfortunate for Elisa. It's not really her fault as the character, it's just the way the game is developed in that regard. Narrative dissonance. Yeah, yes, I think that's what I guess I would call that. That's a good thing to describe it. Kind of like how the whole like Ludo narrative dissonance. Like, yeah, this is just straight up the narrative dissonance in what they're trying to push as canon, and then what we get as a choice as a player, where we can just choose whichever girl we want, you know, to romance. Toa, Toa, my girl. But yeah, so Elisa, she's definitely, you know, I have nothing against her. If I look at her character objectively, there's a lot of things I like about her arc. So she's going into We Are Cool tier, okay? And I guess it's just, my personal taste, in the sense where even though Heavenly Gift is fucking OP AF, I just don't really make use of it too much unless I'm at a point where I've, like, you know, Elisa's in my party. I choose party members. It's not based like on whose things, like whose crafts are super hacks and like when can I get them into the party. It's more like, okay, well, I want to use everyone as much as I can, so I'm trying to like swap in people every now and then. So it's like when Elisa is on the swapped list of like, I haven't used her in a while, she needs to get in here, she needs to get into the party, then I'm reminded that like Heavenly Gift is fucking OP. Get all that BP, right, guys? But yeah, wow, okay, this is so interesting. We are now on, what was her name? Amalthea? Is that her name? Amalthea, right? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's how I think it would be pronounced. So Tyler, my favorite character of all the Sky arc, right? I'm sure, yes. This is your favorite character. Oh my god. No, just saying. I hope you guys know we're joking. Amalthea, she's definitely like, this is pretty easy. It's not really so much of, she serves her role in the story fine, I guess, but it's just her personality is like a no, because she doesn't even improve at all, really. Like, she just always continues to be very like basically yandere. She's a yandere for Richard. Like, I guess in Sky the Third, in that one door, she's a lot more mellowed, so thank goodness, compared to like before. But even then, she was still, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about her character. She's just, nah. Julia's rival or something. Yeah, that was true. That they were hyping it up like that. It was Julia's rival because of their whole past in Genis Royal Academy and everything, right? In the same way, Richard was rivals with. Wait, am I thinking of this right? Oh god, it's been so long. Who was Richard rivals with? Oh god. Oh god. I don't know. So I know that like he had this rivalry or something too? No? Or was it just like he was known to be like top of the class at like Genis? Maybe that's what it was. Oh my god, it's been so long. Oh no, I need to catch up on my Trails lore again, guys. I spent all that time doing all those like lore videos and then it's been too long. I need to refresh my memory. Oh, no one really. Okay, yeah, no rival. I see. So it was just, so yeah. So I guess it's basically just like he was really well, like he was at the top of his class, right? In a way. And also, oh, he was mentored by Cassius. That was it. Thank you guys. Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, that means a lot. That's like bigwig kind of energy when you know you're being mentored by one of the best people ever, you know. But yeah, well, that's where she goes. Annalise. I don't know why I always want to call her Annalise, even though I guess Annalise. I guess we still don't know exactly how we're supposed to say her name because we never had a dub for it yet, right, guys? Am I right? Annalise, I think only because she doesn't really... I don't know how to... I guess it's just her role in the story is not big enough to merit anything above like we're cool. Speaking of we're cool list, what's this called? What is this OST called again? Shoot. Unknown Threat, that's what it was. One of my favorites in Cold Steel, guys. I love how mysterious it is. And it's very cool. I think it's a super cool track, okay? But yeah, this is where Annalise goes. Just because it's not that I don't really... It's not like I don't like her character. She's really sweet. She's really cute. She's very Genki girl. It's just... And, okay, her kind of like doubts, I guess, when it comes to her, you know, sword training when 8 leaves... Wait. Yeah, 8 leaves, 1 blade. For a second, I was like, I hope I'm remembering that correctly. 8 leaves, you know, she has those doubts about can she be as good as her grandfather or whatever, you know, that whole thing. Like, she has a lot to live up to, and I'm sure there's a lot of expectations on her, right? So... yeah, she's definitely gonna be very interesting. I see those promotional images, guys, of the newer arcs and how she has updated outfit and everything. So, haha, I'm definitely sure in the later arcs she'll get a boost up from that. We're gonna be here for a while if this is how far we've got in an hour. I know, Logic. Oh god, this always happens. This always freaking happens. I always underestimate how long these tier lists take me. So this is part 1. This is part 1 of the tier list, okay, guys? Let's try to... guys, we might literally have a part 3 because there's so many characters we didn't include either. Yeah, we're gonna have a part 3 probably too. It's gonna be a series. Yeah. Part 1 of 13. Oh my god. Yeah, legit though. Angie, because of the things she does, she is a literal, predator, and I don't hold this against her. This is the writers doing this to her. It's not good to grab people without consent. That's all I have to really say about that. So the sad thing is, even though I really like how I like her whole thing with her dad, like that's really epic. That's the sad thing to me, is that they write her off as like this joke lesbian character, right? When in reality, she has so many cool things going for her when it comes to how much power and how much role she played in turning the tide, like, against the Noble Alliance at the beginning. Because let's be honest, let's be real here, like, that was a huge loss to their forces, the Noble Alliance, basically taking her dad out of the picture, taking, shoot, what's her province called again? You know, like, because afterwards he just withdrew from the fight, so it's just, man. I feel bad because I like that part of, like, Angie, you know? Especially, like, she feels like such a leader, like a very strong, like, female kind of, like, leader. Because it was cool to see how there's so many people in that province, in the provincial army, who, like, sided with her, technically. And that's kind of huge, NGO. That people had enough faith in her, I think, to side with her against her dad's obviously bigger and stronger forces and everything, so yeah. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's the whole, like, Falcom. I know it's like a long-running, like, trope at this time, but please stop writing joke characters like this, please. Yeah, exactly. Like, exactly. They don't have to drop the lesbian part, of course, not at all. It's just like, please don't write. The sad thing is that that's a trope, though. Like, the whole, you can't take this lesbian seriously. They make her like a super, like, handsy, grabs and does whatever without consent kind of character, when it's just like, can you please respect? Let's respect the lesbians, okay, guys, please. Yeah. Toa is really bad at picking friends. No, Toa, dude. Toa. Actually, I don't know what to say about that right now. It's too soon. We're not on Toa yet. It's too soon, I guess. Honestly, I thought it would have been interesting if she were interested in Toa rather than every single female in the game. Yeah, Zachary, that would have been really cool, actually. Like, if she wasn't played up as, like, a huge, like, womanizer, you know? Like, it's just straight up, she likes her girls. She can show interest in other girls. That's fine, because there's a ton of people in real life and in games who, like, do that, even though they have an actual love interest, you know? But yeah, it would have been cool for her to just straight up, her main love interest is like Toa or something. Surely it makes at least a little sense she's supposed to be bad at least. Yes, yeah, like Anon, I will agree that Shirley, as much as I don't really appreciate it either, I'm a lot more forgiving to Shirley when it comes to those aspects of her, because she downright is bad and she knows it, and she doesn't pretend to not be, you know? Like, Angie is still on our side as like the protagonists, am I right? And like we are the morally good side, right? So it's like versus Shirley, she has no qualms about it, about what she does. She just does what she wants, and in a way I can respect that out of her character. That's why I really like Shirley, that she's just unabashedly bad. But we're not on Shirley right now, so we're gonna take it back a little bit. So guys, like, where else do we put this lady? Okay, I think my ranking is a little bit lower than some other people's, because I know that there are people out there who will like fucking S tier Leanne, Aryan Road, all of this stuff. Like, just I think the mystery and the intrigue, aside from just how noble of a character she was, that was all just so like peak Falcom, you know, in a way. Like, I love how we get pieces of her even as early as the Sky trilogy, right? Because of the celestial globe, and she's the 7th Anguis, right? We see her talking there. We also know from the Luve Monogatari manga, so it's, by the way, guys, you should read that. That add-on like manga that Falcom did for Luve, told from Luve's point of view about basically the entirety of like Sky FC and SC, and it gives a lot of background insight into Ouroboros and stuff. Aryan Road was there, you know, in that manga. Like, she was hyped up almost basically like Osborne. So fitting. That's so fitting, right, guys? Like, because who Osborne is by nature, like, it's so fitting that she's also been hyped up for the same amount of time that Osborne has been in the game. And it's just like we go from that to like the Crossbell arc, and you know, when we freaking have the amazing, guys, Unfathomed Force is my favorite battle track in the entirety of Trails, okay? Like, out of all the battle tracks in Trails, Unfathomed Force. So, boom. So the thing is, she's still in much love tier, because I think the like baby you are my angel tier, I don't know why. I think it's just most of the characters, or all of the characters in here for me, are probably going to be party members, just solely on the basis of like how often they're also in the story, if that makes sense. Because the immersion part of Trails means a lot to me as like a slice of life kind of game, in a lot of the early games too of each arc. And so I really appreciate being able to control the characters. You know, they're party members, we get to talk to them as NPCs all the time, that kind of thing. So that's why I don't know who else who's not a playable character is going to be in this tier. So yeah, so this is nothing against Aryan Road, like, just her entire everything story is so amazing. Yeah, from Sky to Crossbell to Cold Steel, where like, oh my god, like, she's the reason why she's working with Ouroboros and being an Anguis. Like, we totally had the hinting, or basically the thought, right, that she's not in it because she actually agrees with Ouroboros. She's in it because they have the power to help her do something she wants to do, which is, you know, have the power to defeat the evil one herself, you know, because that's the person she loves. So damn, what do you do for love, right? And it's not even him originally, it's like just his reincarnation. Like, god damn, I just want to think like how long was she just wandering around, or what was she doing for that many years? Waiting for his freaking, like, reincarnation, I guess. Yeah, so best mom. Oh, and she's such a best mom for being, like, there for all of her girls, for Dubes and Enea and Ines when they were in such a bad position, a tough position in their lives. And she adopted them and taught them. That is wholesome AF. Like, wow, what a great mom. Damn. Good character. Wait, why do I hear about, like, Oreos? Wait, what? Why are people talking about Oreos right now? Okay. I'm a character guy. I don't necessarily understand a lot of the lore and story because I haven't played all the games, but the characters kept me invested throughout. Dude, yeah, Zach, you love to hear it. I think that's the beauty of Falcom's, or at least trail games, you know, like they have both the characters or the lore, and or both, depending on what the player likes. There's a lot to like for anybody, like when it comes to their preference in these kind of like media and the stories and stuff. So yeah, for some people they're really hooked on just the characters alone. Other people, they're like, damn, this world is so damn fleshed out, kind of thing, which is, I like both of those things about these games. I'm not that bought into Leanne, but maybe just downvote everyone in proportion to the ridiculousness of their weapon. Oh, I mean Mal, or sorry, my bad, Mapulk. That's totally fair, you know, like personal preference wise. If you're kind of like not into the characters who wield BFS, or for her it's BFL, big fucking lance. Like, if you're not into, like, how are they holding this blade or this lance that's clearly as big as them? That kind of character, like, that's fine. That's up to you. All right, so we are moving on to Arios, guys. Arios. I have to kind of think about this, actually. Hella dope or we are cool? Like, how high do I want to rank him? Like, I really don't... Is it weird to say I like the character a lot, but at the end of the day, I don't think he resonated with me enough. Not on the level that, like, Aryan Road did, you know? When it comes to just, like, resonating with how much... I guess how, like, memorable he is. As in, when I think of certain characters and trails, you know, like what's the first character I think of when I think of an antagonist? It's like, oh yeah, well, Aryan Road is gonna be one of the first that you're gonna think of, you know. I don't really know. I guess Arios, his story is great, you know. His reasoning for it is great. I like that it's complex. He helps build the complexity of Crossbell's problem in how are we supposed to deal with it, you know? Do we just stand by, and let them oppress us, basically, like Erebonia, like freaking oppress us, and continue to get away with killing people, murdering people, or do we try to go the legal way, right, of getting back at them, or like, hey, if there's a bigger power that's able to help me get back at my enemies, like, I'll take it. Like, I appreciate the complexity that adds for him because of, you know, he lost his wife and like Shizuku, and he's a badass. He's a freaking badass. But other than that, I just think he's not in the same... He's not on the same level as like Luve or Aryan Road are when it comes to the like character that you're trying to reach the heights of, right? Like both in their power level and their reputation / recognition that the public has and stuff of them, you know. So Arios, I think I am gonna have to put him here. Pretty cool, but not enough for me. His personality isn't in your face, but in terms of story, he's really up there. Yeah, I think it's based on personality too, why he's not higher for me, now that you mentioned that. Because story-wise, when I rate him based on story too, like, it's really good. I really liked it. But his personality, I don't know. I don't have anything against it, but it doesn't really, yeah, stand out. Like you say, like, it's not in your face about it. Damn, missed Arios. I was giving my cat a tablet. Oh, Em, I hope your cat is doing well, doing okay with the antibiotics. Take care, kitty-san. He plays a stoic good guy. I loved him ending up playing for the other side. Yeah, like I will give him that. Like, I do actually appreciate that he was a literal bracer, one of the best ones, right, of the Bracer Guild, and he's been working behind the scenes doing something this malicious, you know, this whole time. So that was cool. But yeah. Anyway, we are moving on to Laura's dad, Mr. Victor S.R. Sade himself. And he's kind of the same as Arios? NGL? Like, not personality-wise, of course, but like his role in the story as like that cool dad who's a badass at the sword, and we're trying to reach his levels. And in CS4 he does the whole like what was that? I think they were trying to make Laura relevant. That's my take on it, my opinion again. Like Laura relevant in the main story again by having Victor like join the no, now I'm bad and the mask, and now I've joined the bad guys. That was just so, that was kind of cringy to me, NGL. That was very narmy. My opinion of that plot point is that's very narmy. I get what they were trying to... the horn is so... Okay, I'm sorry. I just have to comment. Like, the horn is so beautiful in this one part. That part. And the trombones! Okay, I'm sorry. I had to comment on the music. But... also, Victor... Like... Sorry, what was I gonna say? Oh, I forgot. I just started talking about the music, then I totally forgot, like, what I was talking about when it comes to Victor. And he goes here. I guess he's like with Arios, with how I feel about him. He's just a cool dad character who's there. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Like, I understand what they were trying to go for when trying to make him sympathetic and give him the reason for joining Ouroboros' side, right? I get what they were trying to go for, but it just seems so disingenuous knowing who the character is throughout the entire 3 games prior. Like, I don't think he would back down on his morals like that, or his ideology, his ideals like that, even after going through something like that. It just doesn't sound like he would do that. Zobi, hello. This song sounds nice. Yes, this song is so nice. It's Castle of the Saint, one of my favorites from the first 2 Cold Steel games. I really love the location themes, I think, in the first 2 Cold Steel games. The dungeon themes, because this is a dungeon theme. This is the theme that plays in Legram in Leanne's castle. Yeah. Castle of the Saint. This is gonna be really weird, I think, to a lot of you guys. This is so freaking weird, probably. I love this character. Like, he's annoying as fuck, but that's the point of his character too. And I love what he adds to like the games, because on one hand, I'm kind of done with all these characters who are antagonists who they try to make sympathetic, you know? Like, I get the reason why, and it's not that I'm not down for that. I like those kinds of characters, villains, antagonists too, but sometimes you need to balance that out and just have a straight up character who is just like, he is through and through very malicious. He likes to toy with people. He doesn't really care about lives. And he's also just super mysterious. Like, probably one of the biggest mysteries, right? In all of... Oh my god, it's so fucking bright. Sorry, my screen. Alright, here we go. He's one of the biggest mysteries in the entire series right now, because we don't know really even what he is, right? Because it's always brought up how, like, who are you, dude? Your appearance never changes. And the crazy thing is that, like, you come off as like a little boy, like a little Shota, right? He's like a little boy. So it's just that should be impossible after 6 years now? In like main Zemuria timeline, trails wise, I think it's 6 years since we've first seen him in Sky SC. Yeah. I like how he is also... He's straight up just serving the Grandmaster only, right? Like, it's not about anyone or anything else for him, really. It's just, he is the special, like, he is... He's tasked with observing the plan for the Grandmaster. So we will see just what kind of mystery Campy really is in the end. That's stupid. Oh, and I love his... Speaking of, guys, this played in his boss battle too in Crossbell. I loved his really stupid, annoying moves. It was so fitting and it was so annoying, but I just love when the gameplay, like, when it capitalizes on trying to sell a character or continue to tell the narrative, tell the story through the gameplay. And so his moves where he turns us into chili peppers. He freaking like switches out like the mirror cast thing. So, you know, if you try to S-craft on him, you hit one of your members, that kind of thing. The little salt pail as his S-craft, like, ooh, mysterious, isn't it? Yeah, shuffle, that whole thing. That too. So, good stuff. Very good stuff. It's funny because Campanella and Aryan Road had the same boss themes twice. Yeah, that's freaking true, huh? Step Ahead and Unfathomed Force. But like the freaking Unfathomed... Wait, Aryan Road had Step Ahead? Wait, when was that? I know that they both had Unfathomed Force, and I like to point out to people that I understand why Unfathomed Force is associated with Leanne or with Aryan Road, but technically we first heard it against Campanella in Crossbell, so heads up guys, it also played when we fought him too. I feel like he's a homunculus, says Anon, with the no aging. Yeah, I guess that's the question though, right? Like, it would be kind of, to me, I think it would be a little anticlimactic if he was revealed to be a homunculus only, just because we've had so many in the games at this point now, that he definitely, I have that feeling like he has to be more. And mystery, that's actually really interesting. You say Campy has tattoos on his body and he's possibly a demon, and I actually didn't really think about that, but you have such a good point. He has like the really interesting, you know, like the tattoo that's right under his like eye, right? And then he's always wearing a full length long sleeve like suit and everything, so like it makes you wonder, does he do that to like cover up tattoos if he has the tattoos like all the, you know, the other demons have? McBurn, right? So very interesting. It's very interesting. Good theory. I didn't think about that. Could be part homunculus / demon inhabiting the same body. Yes. I guess we'll never know until Falcom wants to give us the deets in a game in like 10 years, guys. 20 years, because it's gonna be like endgame spoilers. Yeah. All right, let's go on to Sally. Guys, I'm finally saying it correctly. Rip to me. I will take a big rip right now, guys, for freaking pronouncing it Cowley. In all my Zero and Ow story summaries. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I butchered like Mandarin or yeah, shit. I'm sorry. Cow. Cowley, am I right? Sao? So, Sao is cool. I actually, is it bad that I actually like him more than Arios and Victor as like a character? I don't know. I don't mind the whole, like, big braining, smart ass, like, villainy characters. I don't mind them. He's very sleazy, but yeah. You get to go there, Tsao, because I don't know, I just like to think how do I phrase this? I do think he's gonna get a lot more screen time in the arcs that we're getting to soon because of the whole, you know, like Heiyue are gonna have a really big field day in Kuro and, or well, even if not in Kuro, like in a lot of the Calvard games, because Calvard is gonna definitely have more than one game, right, guys? So I'm sure we're gonna see a lot more of Tsao in that case. And I love his evil smile portraits. Yes! And Tsao Lee is very enjoyable. I'm glad you guys like him as a character. As in, like, he's an enjoyable character. Yeah. He doesn't have a huge role or anything, but whenever he's on screen, like, I think he's a very enjoyable character. I like that he kind of pokes fun at Lloyd all the time, every single time. Yeah, it's just like he gets under people's skin, and that's great. His title deserves putting him a level above to begin with. You can't have the white orchid dragon too low. I think the only reason he's here, kind of the same with how I view Analos, in my opinion, is just that I have not seen enough of them yet. Okay, so there's different reasons why people are in this tier, of course. For Tsao and Analos, it's just like, I need to see more of them, you know. They need more not that they need more role in the story, but I want them to have more screen time because I just love whenever they're on screen. I find him interesting, but I love characters that play both sides, and you don't know what you're gonna get when they appear. Yeah, same. That's why I really like Lecter too. Lecter is very much like Tsao in my opinion, in that for pretty much the whole time we know them, we don't always know like what side they're playing, right? And yes, I love Alex. That's so funny. He also talked down the ogre, then he got yeeted out the window. He did. I still remember that. That was so epic. Oh, Crossbell had so many epic scenes. That freaking like red constellation raid. And then his whole company, all the Heiyue just get, you know, demolished, unfortunately. And then Tsao just gets yeeted out the window, of course. Yeah. But alright, guys. Cassius time. So unlike these other dads, okay? Unlike them, he actually gets to be... Ooh. Do I want to put him in this tier? Or this tier? Oh, he's such a cool big brain and he's such a good dad. No! Where do I put him? This is a true atrocious raid, guys. This is my inner conflict battle right now. What do I do? I think by sheer nature of what he adds to the entire story of like Trails or Trails lore, I'm gonna have to put him here. Just because, like, even though he might not have a ton of screen time, my god, like, so many of his plans, like, we would be in major shit if it wasn't for Cassius, you know, especially in the Sky games where he's working with like Olivier and Kevin behind the scenes and everything, you know, to make sure that everything is lined up so we have the right players, right, when we need it. Cassius's his trump card with freaking Sid and Richard, like, what a badass. And then of course he's so he's such a dad to Estelle. Like, I just love their dynamic. It's just so stupid. It's of course like the dad and the daughter thing. Like, it's just like, dad, why? Like, don't make fun of me. Or just like, oh, the dad jokes. We love the dad jokes. Yeah, Cassius, what a cool character. And what an awesome, like, role model for Estelle. It's cool how it's come, you know, full circle with him adopting Joshua and then Estelle kind of being in the mind to then, you know, adopt, like, Ren. So, yeah. Dang. Oh, and seeing him in CS4 with that new model and he was just there, like, that was pretty hype, NGL. Like, see, just, wow, it's Cassius in the 3D model, insane. I love all the little secrets about him that Estelle finds out and how she finds out in FC. Yeah, yes, Matthew. Yes, I love that too. Yeah, I love how Estelle just slowly learns how badass her dad really is. And she's like, what? That stupid fool? Because otherwise when he's at home with her, he's such a dorky character. That she's just like, what do you mean? That dork? He's actually doing all these things? Damn. So, much love to Cassius. So now, we're going to move on to Cecil? I always said Cecil, even because of Final Fantasy, like, 4. But I even think technically that's wrong. Like, I'm pronouncing it wrong. I think most people say Cecil. And I say like Cecil. So. Cecile? Oh, is that what it is? Cecile. Oh. Thank you. I had no idea how to, like, say these people's names. No, logic, stop. The reincarnation of the saint lady. Yeah, I mean, that is true, huh? Like Zeit's friend, the saint lady from Crossbell's, like, lore and stuff, huh? I guess, I don't know. She's just kind of... This is like solely for the tier of like, I don't have anything really against you, but there's nothing that really stands out about you either to me. Sounds kind of bad to just call it more of like the indifference tier. I mean, she's a nice nurse. That's awesome. You know, she does a lot of good work helping people get better, but she's a hot older sister of Lloyd. That's all you need to know. She's a hot older sister nurse. That's all. Other than that, she's just kind of... well, she is kind of an airhead, so it's just... If you're into... oh, dude, actually logic? I just totally forgot that for a moment, that she did do that all the time, didn't she? She's like, Lloyd, so who? Is it Randy or is it Wazzy? Which one? Or Ellie? And she, Lloyd, don't tell me. Everybody? And just like, oh my god. Cecile, why? I'm calling it Ricky from Liberal's first baby. You are my angel category. Where the fuck is he? Is he in this? Wait, I don't even see him. Where's Ricky? No, guys, clearly, just take a look here. Take a look here. Okay? This is gonna be the baby you're my angel, right, guys? But yeah, he's not on the list. Ricky. I don't think Anton is either. NGL? I think I remember. I know what this list was from. This is from when, like, oh shoot, when me, Feb, and Tyler in the chat, when we did the community tier list. I know why new class oh my god, wait, this is kind of nostalgic too. I know why new class 7 and like Cedric and stuff aren't on here either. It's because at that point I hadn't played CS3 yet. So it's like I'd have nothing. I don't think Tyler hadn't played it yet either because this was before it came out in the West. So it, oh dude, that's kind of nostalgic. This is like a throwback. I understand now. You know how I know that? It's because I remember we added the Orbital bike. Yeah. That's how I know that this is our list, because I'm like, dude, the Orbital bike is there. But okay, guys, Claire. Claire is a lot different in having the knowledge of what holds her back when she like just dumps it on us in CS3. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I really like what she adds to the kind of characters that exist out there, because, you know, I think Falcom, we have so many examples of people who do have like a really rough background, and they come around to eventually they turn sides, right? Of like, just look at all the Ouroboros members that Estelle has like converted and stuff, right? Jaegers too, like former Jaegers coming onto our side, that kind of thing. Claire, though, I really do appreciate how she's one of those characters, same with Lecter, who really do showcase kind of like, in a way, it's not really Stockholm Syndrome, but it's similar in how it's very, very hard for people in real life to change so quickly or that easily when they've been, you know, hyping up one side for so long in their life. And knowing just how much Osborne was, you know, involved in their adolescence, where adolescence is a huge part of where we really form our like meaningful bonds a lot of the times too, which can make it so that it's hard for people to see, you know, their benefactor that they had at that age for who they really are. So I like that Claire, at the end of the day, she wants to change, but unfortunately she can't muster that up at the time. And instead she just goes, you know, it sounds depressing because it is sad, but I like that she is an example of that happens all the time to people. And it's not saying that she can't try and, I don't like using the word redeem herself now, but judging off of CS4's end credits with, like, you know, Rufus taking the fall, right? For them, like, Claire and Lecter, they're getting their second chance now, right? So it's just, no one has to, like, forgive them for what they've done. Of course not, you know, for being complicit with Osborne. But I like that she's kind of an example of that's what happens when you're found at a young age, your adolescence. This is like your adoptive father. It's hard to turn against them, you know? Yeah. So Claire is, she's a very conflicted character. Yeah, and so I want to bring up the final thing in CS4. The way we know she really is a conflicted character is that not just the ending of CS3 when, like, she tries to reach out to Reen, right? When he runs past them, but she ultimately stays with the Ironbloods. Not just that, but also, like, in CS4 at Mishalam, when she meets with Reen, like, one-on-one, and she tries to, you know, like, really provoke him, like, why did you come meet me? I could have all these snipers on you right now, all this thing. But she doesn't. Like, she's not gonna kill them. She's not that bad. But she can't muster up that final push to change and switch sides. She just stays in this side. Yeah, so that's why Clara's there, not for reasons like, you know, when it comes to tier lists, guys, remember that I think the most well thought out tier lists definitely look beyond like high level tiers are good, as in, like, morally good characters, and, like, low level tiers are, like, morally bad characters, right? I mean, Claire killed the man who killed her family, but she was hated by her uncle's side of the family because of it. Yeah, it's just like super freaking very, very unfortunate inner family conflict. I do really feel for Claire and Michael in that way. Like, what a horrific thing for a family to go through. It makes me think of, guys, I really like true crime. I like watching true crime documentaries and shows and episodes a lot. And some of those episodes that deal with, like, inner family drama and all that stuff, oh, that sounds horrific. Like, that is very sad. Also, I see some Rufus chatting, you know, in the chat, and heck yeah, Rufus is very muchos. I very much like the character, and you'll see why when I explain after. But character-wise, one of my favorites actually from Cold Steel Arc. But I do agree that, like, thrashing that. I do think Claire and Lecter, is it realistic that they were just forgiven like that? You know, in how they just went back to, I guess, their old roles where they're serving, trying to clean up the mess, you know, the aftermath of the whole Osborn and preparing for fucking World War and everything. In a sense, I want to think that they were brought on, like, they were sort of forgiven for the time being, because, like, Erebonia and the whole world was in such chaos after, you know, Osborn died and everything. But I do agree that, like, I would hope that Claire and Lecter have a similar punishment at first, like Richard did, like just straight up legit going to prison or something, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know. I haven't played Reverie yet, so I don't know if they go into that anymore there or whatever, you know. I don't know. But yo, guys, wait, this is my first, guys, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? This is my first in this tier. Heck yeah, I love Crow. I freaking love Crow. Like, yeah, I don't know, he's just such a fun character, okay? Like, he's just a fun character. I really like his personality, you know? And his whole backstory, of course. Like, I appreciate what they were trying to, you know, do with the whole, like, oh, not that it justifies terrorism. Nothing ever justifies terrorism, guys. And he knows too, right? Like, he knows it himself. Like, he's self-aware that by the end of CS2 and CS4, like, he understands that what he did was really horrific to other people. Like, what kind of terrorism? Like, we want to believe there's a lot more stuff off screen, as much as we don't see like who actually dies from those kinds of events. Like, we want to assume that his terrorist organization straight up killed people, like innocent people. So it's like, you know, he knows at the end of the day that that is not the way to go. And terrorism, nothing justifies terrorism. So he wants to, you know, in a sense, like, he knows that he should be punished, or he wants to take accountability of all that, right? But then he has to learn that all the stuff he is doing to help save the world at that moment and at that time really adds up though too. Like, it's not always you have to be severely punished. So even if you do all of this to save the world, like, you still have to be severely punished. Like, to me, it was just, oh, in CS4, he was really making up for all the bad that he knows he's done, you know? What he says to George on the Gargantua. Yeah, guys, oh my god, like, I feel for George too. And like how all his friends had to talk him out of just his like self-loathing. I don't deserve anything, I don't deserve any friends, I like betrayed everyone, all that stuff, you know? So Crow is such a bro. Crow's relationship, like, just his dynamic with Reen, like, I am you guys know the true pairing, if we were allowed to have it, it would have been Crow and Reen. Just saying, okay? Crow and freaking Reen, no matter if you view them as like, you know, a pair, like a ship pair, or just like a platonic, like, boat. I'm bringing up that term again. I boat it, as in like I ship that platonically as all hell. Yeah, like, whether you see it as like romantic or platonic, like, their dynamic is just so good. And I love that, you know. That's such a treat. The ILF characters were all pretty good, except for their leader, who kind of fell flat. Wait, their leader? What do you mean? Crow? But Crow is such a good... I thought he was very good. He's very charismatic. You know, like, that's not a joke. That's not a lie. He is a charismatic character. Not on the level of Osborne or anything, but, you know, like enough that people will want to follow him, you know. Creed! Bruh. Creed. Wait, what is their actual ship name? Is Logic still in the chat? Does he know? Like, do they have a ship name? Creed. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. Bro. I just can't get over that, guys. Crean. No. Why is that? That's such a, like... it's kind of like a shitty, like, ship name. Crow also knew he wasn't the strongest, but that didn't stop him from standing up to the likes of McBurn just to get Reen out of his predicament in Cold Steel 4. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I love how, you know, like in CS4, they really went into the lore of the Divine Knights and how some of them are legitimately just straight up stronger and win way more than the other ones. And the Azure Knight, you know, who is like Crow's, right? Like, is not really seen as a contender ever. But even then, like, he's with Reen all the way. Heck yeah. Even if they're going against, like, freaking the, shoot, what are they? Argent Knight? What was, like, Aryan Road and Rufus's, like, they were the top ones, right? So, Crow is a cool dude. So now we're moving on to Dieter, guys. Dieter Croy. NGL, I really do need to revisit, I think, this character. Because I personally cannot remember for the life of me what all his lines were. So in in that sense, I don't know what his intentions were for a lot of these things that he did. Because on one hand, I can appreciate that he was trying to bring attention to showcase how they're such a tiny nation. They have no really political power at all, and they've just been basically fucked/screwed over by all the major countries for so long that, you know, like, he just wants to protect his country. Not saying that that's justified, of course, the way they go about it, by literally, you know, he was willing to sacrifice some of his own people for the greater good. Like, yo, that was very utilitarian, right? When he allowed the raid, the Crossbell raid to happen by the Red Constellation just so they'd have a reason to, like, go to war. Like, that is homo levels of, you know, using your own people to justify going to war. But, like, I don't know, it's just, on the other hand, unlike Hommel, like, Dieter, I could at least sympathize with his plight and all of Crossbell's, and that, like, they're just sick of being like, screwed over by people all the time. To be fair, most of the Cold Steel characters are pretty complex and gray. It's just not always that easy to see it at face value. Yes, exactly, yeah. See, Cold Steel characters are indeed very complex, a lot of them. At least a lot of the antagonists, I think, are, you know. Rufus, Claire, Lecter, all those guys. They're very complex. He was kind of straightforward. He was tricked by Mariabelle and Grimwood. Yeah, like, I mean, that's not wrong. He definitely was, like... He was too naive in that sense. Like, there was a reason why Mariabelle tells him that, like, basically, you're too naive, father. You know, because he had all these aspirations for Crossbell politically. Now that they had that kind of, like... power that was a major deterrent now to all these other countries, so fucking them over. So I guess I'm just gonna put him right behind Sao. No, actually, maybe I actually like him more than Dieter. I mean, not Dieter, more than Victor though, I think. Yeah, I don't know, he's pretty interesting, but at the same time, I do think I need to rewatch some of those scenes soon where he's like declaring certain things, because I just want to see like what his tone / intention was behind it, because then that will help me determine more of if I'm wrong to kind of headcanon a little bit more that he's not so much in it for himself, for like his power, but more so in it because of he's trying to protect Crossbell, if that makes sense. Like, I need to look back at all his scenes to pick up on if he's doing it in a more selfless way for Crossbell or like a more selfish way, like for him, right? If that makes sense. Yeah. But alright, let's go on to the next character. I love how Dorothy is here, putting like all these NPCs. I mean, they've been with us for a long time in the Sky games, I guess, so makes sense. Dorothy? Oh no, like, I mean, I don't have anything against the character. It's just that I think it's on the basis of... Oh, I feel bad. It's just like... The kind of role they do have is so inconsequential to the entire story or plot, you know? I mean, the one thing I truly really remember about her, besides just all the funny moments with Niall that are just like, can be boiled down to like the tropey kind of thing, is when she took that picture and she totally destroyed LeBlanc's like magic or whatever he uses. I forgot what he said he uses in CS2. That... And also, like, in Sky the Third, when we're doing the, like, banquet at Gransel Castle, that door, and she's just so freaking hungry because she didn't eat all day, and she couldn't walk. I'm just like, Dorothy, oh, this poor girl, someone please bless this freaking... she's such a mess right now. That kind of thing. Yeah. Dorothy is a grandmaster jokes, of course, right? And her Magic, you're totally right. You're totally right, though. Her comment on Kevin's hair is freaking legendary. Just onion. The onion gram. We wouldn't have the onion gram without that. Wait, don't worry. We'll see more from Dorothy once Campanella reveals that she's his true form. Oh my god, just imagine, guys. Just imagine. They're actually the same person. Oh, what? Dude. Yo, Awo, hey! It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Happy weekend. Yeah, I hope you've, just been... having a good summer. I extend that to all of you guys too in chat, legit. Like, thanks for joining the stream tonight, and I hope you're all having a very wonderful summer, BT dubs, okay? Anton for SSSSS tier. Oh man. Anton and baby, you are my angel tier? I don't know about that. Maybe in actually like one of these tiers though, because oh my god, CS4 Anton, what a freaking fantastic joy, okay? Like, he truly did go. He's a fucking NPC. He's not a party member, and he goes through more of a character arc than some characters, main characters from other games, you know? So damn. Yeah, okay, well, Dudley, guys. Dudley! My Dudley! I love Dudley. Isn't this crazy how Dudley was I was introduced to Dudley first, and I had like a whole game, 2 games with Dudley prior to Machias. But I think just because of how he's still relevant to the story, but he doesn't always have the most screen time. So because of that, I think I'm gonna put him in hella dope category. But freaking yeah, I love Dudley. I love how he's such a tsundere for like Lloyd, okay guys? Isn't he? He's such a tsun for Lloyd. He's always about like bannings, Lloyd of bannings, you know? He doesn't know how to like compliment Lloyd and how like, damn it, he's a really good detective. Oh, he's doing such a good job. Oh, I'm so proud of like Guy's little bro NGL. Like, but I'm such a tune, so freaking Dudley's S-Craft though. Yeah, Dudley's S-Craft is epic AF. Who freaking just takes off their jacket and just punches shit? That's amazing. Why is it? I am waiting for Dudley to come back in, or to play him, I guess, in 3D form. And CSS Craft. something justice. Yeah, exactly, justice. And Dudley and Machias, they're like 2 peas in a pod. Justice bullet, blah blah blah, justice, freaking justice. Dudley's fist is the hammer of justice. It really is, isn't it? But yeah, I knew he's like the agate of the Crossbell arc because I went from Sky to Crossbell, right? So he just reminded me of, I know these kinds of characters who start off like very hard-headed, and also has like a temper and stuff, those kind of characters. I always know that at the end of the day, like, they're big softies. Okay, like these characters are such softies. And I was right. Like, look at Dudley and Ao, especially in the finale, alright guys? Oh, guys, please take Dudley to a certain fight with you. By that I mean Arios, please. Okay, guys? Take him with you when you're in the Azure Tree, okay? He has a couple really cool lines if you take him. Yeah. There we go. Hella dope. Dudley. Alright, now we are on to Doobs. The Doobs. I like Duvali. I love that she has a conviction of her own despite her loyalty to Aryan Road. Yeah, Doobs, like, oh my god. Late CS3 and CS4, she shot up by miles based on where she was before on my tier list. Because, so, Dubes, prior to like the ending of CS3, I honestly just kind of thought she was sort of annoying. You know, like I had no other way to describe it, but just like she was kind of annoying, especially because like as an enemy, she was always really easy for me. I don't know if it was because like my game wanted to screw over her AI, but she was always the easiest person. She would always miss my characters, even ones that like didn't have that good of evade. But she would miss, and she would also get like hit all the time, to the point where fast forward to like CS3, oh my god, she was so easy. Like she, by far, out of all of the stall ritter and stuff, every single time I was just like, Dubes she dishes it out, but she can't take it. Like bullying Dubes was so easy gameplay wise. It was so easy to break her, and she like always died first. NGL, like whenever I fought her, she always died first out of the 3 or 4 people who are fighting with her. So yeah, she was just kind of annoying-ish to me. CS2. But then, oh my god, CS4 especially. That was insane. Like, she shot up so much. And I really, really have so much respect for her. Because she was willing to, like, not only turn against her own comrades, right? But to work with the people who she knows she hasn't always had the easiest time with, right? Has like a weird history with NGL, LOL, like our class 7 and them, and she was all alone too. Like that could be really scary when you think about it. Like some people want to say, but Crow joined too and she knows Crow, but it's like not really. Like they worked on the same side, but I don't think they were super good pals or friends or anything. So that means Crow would be like, he would be with all of his former classmates and stuff again, and they're friends because that's just how it is. Class 7, they're friends. So Crow, he's friends with all of them, versus Doob, she's just all alone. And I have so much respect that she was willing to step out of her comfort zone because she believed in something greater than just, you know, what they were doing. She stuck to her ideal. She has integrity. That's the thing. Dupes has so much integrity, as in like her actions match up or line up with her words and everything, you know. She's a very noble character in that way. And guys, that bonding event with Dubes at Ortis, where it's just like, and this is another thing, I love when we just are able to have like platonic, you know, bonding events. Like it's just chilling with a friend, eating some freaking gelato. Man, that was so wholesome. What a good bonding event. So yay, Dubes! She is authentic, she has a lot of integrity. Oh no, Taryn! I mean, I guess it makes sense. This is another part of why limiting bonding points was such a bad idea, NGL guys, because when you're limited, you're just gonna have to pick, people are just gonna pick and choose, you know, who they want to do bonding events with. And then you get the problem with the whole, I never spent any bond points with Crow, so I always thought, why are we all so sad about this dude who stole money from me? Yeah, and the only actual in-game scenes you have with Crow, he's just like stealing Mira from you, so. Falcom, please, if you're gonna continue bonding events, at least make it so that we can see all the bonding events if we wanted to. See, it's always better to just give us the option and then just make sure that, you know, people don't feel forced. Like, they don't have to lock progressing the story behind using all the bonding event points, but the option is there for people, right? Also, Final Choice is always so good as an OST. Like, we've already gone through so many good OSTs today, right, guys? But Final Choice never stops from, like, making me want to just remember the first time this played in Sky the Third. Oh, it's so epic. They're all in this together. They're on this journey to get out of this world. And then when it came back, guys, when this track came back in Cold Steel 1? Cold Steel 1. Yeah, with the ship. With the Courageous. Wait, was that 1? Or was that 2? No, I think it was 1. It was 1. In Cold Steel 1, the freaking Olivier with his wings on the Courageous when it like takes its first flight. Oh my god, when this track came back, that was so hype. That was such a hype moment for me because this is one of my favorite tracks from Sky Third. So it's like, oh my god, they brought it back! Also because this is a song that played when Ollie challenged Osborne in the Star Door in Sky the Third. So, yeah. Feels. But alright guys, we are on to Ellie. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm gonna have to do this. It's so sad to me because, okay, Ellie, I really liked her in Zero. She was so good. She was still really relevant throughout the entire game, even though her main arc was really early in Zero. But like, oh gosh, and oh, I feel like they could have tried to work around her, you know, so much more, in the sense where there's so much political happenings going around, you know, like in AO, that it's just, she is the party's like connection to that. Not only connection, but also like she's the one who has had all the education on it and stuff. And so it's just kind of sad that she didn't have more of a role or part in helping the SSS or the party know how to deal with like these top-ranked diplomats and stuff and all that stuff. I don't know. It's just Ellie and her plot. She certainly grew by CS4. Yeah, she grew even more in the plot. Not the plot, the plot, right, guys? But yeah, Logic, that basically they didn't do anything with her in AO, and that's super lame because she had a very strong opening arc. And I will say this, I could really personally relate to Ellie because I initially first went to college as an international affairs major. And then until eventually I like narrowed that down to poli-sci and then double majoring with social work. Even though double majoring is kind of like out of the question for me now because of my TM. I just don't have the energy to do that. But like, yeah, so I was just really interested in, I guess like how, yeah, just how the legislative system works, like actually how it's implemented, how does it affect people? Like, even though this is a fictional game, like Zero, a huge part of it is exploring how the constituents are, how they're affected by their politicians, like their elected representative and stuff, right? And as someone who in the past kind of floated the idea of running for office at some point, like it's just I could personally relate to Ellie and her grandpa being the freaking mayor, and then for Ellie, she could have had that spot right next to him, right? So yeah, we're at least they gave my boy Gaius some relevance, you say? Gaius? Yeah, definitely starting from CS3 onwards. I know for sure he's gonna get a lot more relevance nowadays, but yeah, I think you were trying to, are you guys like comparing Ellie and Gaius? Oh my god. Dang. But yeah, so that's where Ellie goes. Sadly, just not enough of her in the story when it comes to relevance. So now we are on Elise, guys. We are on Elise. I honestly don't think she's that bad. Like, I know a lot of people don't really like Elise, but I'm gonna put her in, honestly, we are cool tier. Okay? Yeah, I'm putting her in this tier because, like, she does have those moments where CS2, Elise, early on, that was so cool. It makes me sad to think that she was just she was like delegated to like maiden in distress, you know, after her whole beginning of CS2, where she tells her dad, right, like, no, let me go with Reen and fight the horrible knight or whatever, like Jaegers are coming to take over the village or whatever, let me go with Reen, because she's taught the blade too, and it's her responsibility, it's her job to take care of the village, to take care of the people, right? And that was really cool to me. That was awesome. And then we just get like later on CS2, she's just kind of damsel in distress. Yup. Yeah, sad times. Also, dude, fighting right on. This part of this track is always so good. Okay, I just wanted to point that out. At least, like, I don't know, I just personally, I'm down with her personality. I kind of vibe with it, you know? Especially like CS3 and CS4, where she's a little older, she's a little more mature. But yeah, problem with Elise, yeah, it's not really Elise's problem. It's more of, once again, it's like the way the game is implemented, sadly. You know, she's part of the harem, the syscon for Reen, so so that's why she's not as high in that regard. You know what? Wait, maybe I'm gonna put it like this. This is weird, but that's where I'm gonna put her. I think she's better than just meh. That's the thing, I guess. She's not quite just meh tier. I would have liked her more if she ever confessed her feeling to Reen and moved on from him, but this never happens, unfortunately. Oh my god, King Hades, that's like, yeah, that would have been really cool if she did that, kind of like what Chloe did in Sky, right? That would have been really cool. If, kind of like what I was hoping Tita would do to Agate eventually at some point, where it's just they confess, but you know, they're turned down, you know, that thing. Ah, okay, that's cool, Zach. That's why I don't hate most characters. I blame writers for the writing problems. If I dislike a character, it's because of them being awful. I see what you mean, yeah. Like, it's kind of, what are their actions, right? Like, regardless of how the narrative is structured, kind of thing. She definitely has redeeming qualities throughout the Cold Steel arc, but damsel in distress along with doing the not related brother romance worse than Estelle really hurts. Yeah, I agree, UMP. It is kind of sad that she didn't get more chance or time to shine, you know, because she is kind of relegated. I see what you guys mean, that she's kind of relegated to just Alphin's like escort later on in the games. Yeah, that's where she goes. All right, shoot, for the stream, guys, I think we're going to end with Estelle, okay, guys? Estelle's gonna be the last one for tonight. I hope you look forward to it. What is the Estelle rank? But we are now on Elliot. What a cinnamon roll. I actually really like Elliot. I would even put him here. You know, Elliot is cool. I really love like just his whole entire arc in CS1. Like, that really resonated with me as someone who was part of music and music programs like throughout all of like my schooling days, all the way through college, even before my TM struck. Like, I was in music, and I know so many of my friends who went on to, you know, like become music majors and even, you know, like get really awesome opportunities, kind of like what Elliot has, because they just put so much work and passion into their music, and they're also naturally talented / gifted, okay, my former bandmates. So it's just it's so wholesome to me. It personally resonates with me because a lot of my real life friends from high school, like they made it. They made the dream come true with music. So not just that, but also how Elliot, you know, the whole conflict he has with his dad, right? About how like music or all that stuff isn't manly, or you have to, in the sense where I think he thought that his dad didn't like music to that extent, when in reality he just kind of wanted his son to also have like the military training, right? But otherwise he's very much on board with Elliot doing his music, and it's wholesome to see his dad Craig like come around to music. And then for Elliot, it's just, he's never given up on music completely, even though it seemed that way at first. During his bonding events and stuff, you realize he has his violin there, and he does want to give it a go. He does want to practice, all that stuff. Yeah, Elliot is just, what a cool character. He has cool crafts, especially in CS1, CS2. Remember Resounding Beat, guys? Wow, that made so many fights in the old schoolhouse like no problem. Resounding Beat. But that was removed a lot more. A lot of his utility when it came to healing was kind of removed in CS3 and CS4. But yeah, guys, Elliot as a unit also really cool. Not that I personally didn't use him too much, but it's always fun to, yeah, like throw him in there. Bonding events in CS2 is basically him playing with Reen. Oh yeah, I know. Elliot's bonding events are actually really wholesome, guys. Reen, Elliot, Laura, and Gaius were my main party for Cold Steel 1 and 2. Ooh, dude, Gaius, you actually love to see it, NGL. Gaius included in there? Nice. Imagine if it turned out that Olaf knew the war was coming all along and set Elliot to Thors to make sure he was always protected so that he meets like really strong classmates that can defend themselves. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't put it as in like, I think that could have actually happened, NGL. Now that you say that. He's smart. Elliot's dad. As much as he doesn't seem to show it, he's very much Cassius in that regard. He definitely knows what he's doing. I liked how Elliot, Machias, and Fee worked together at the start of CS2. Yes! Yeah, guys. For sure. Like, Reen... sorry, why did I say Reen? Machias... Elliot and Fee, that beginning part of CS1, it's just so wholesome to see their friendship, their dynamic, just the three of them. It's so great. Yeah, I love Elliot. I always love characters with more realistic problems in anime games. Yeah, okay, for sure. Yeah, for sure, King Hades. He has a super realistic problem, yeah. Because that's part of the reason why he resonates so much with me personally, even though, like, I'm not the one pursuing music. Like, I've had friends who, they had to work their ass off, like, literally doing like music and engineering at the same time, like as a double major, because their parents wouldn't let them go into music, like do the music major program too, if they didn't, you know, do either like the whole like doctor or lawyer or engineering or something like that. So it's just so cool to see Elliot in this fictional world or fictional verse where he has such a better, you know, prospect and everything. Yeah. So good. So good. He's grown up so much. CS4 Elliot with the whole... He's going places. Freaking going places. Yeah. But alright. Moving on to Emma, guys. Emma! I think this is gonna be kind of weird to a lot of people, but I actually really like Emma. Yeah, let's put her here. Let's put her here. Yeah, heck yeah. Freaking Emma, look at them. The two top of the class people. Machias and Emma right next to each other. Emma, oh my god, I love her character growth. She went from being so doubtful of herself, you know, and her abilities while at the, like, this is the thing, I love how she's so complex in the sense where she worked so hard and she believed in herself that because we learn in CS4, right, that she studied really hard after Vita left to become a wandering witch, like to also gain that right from Rose, right, from grandmother, to leave the village and everything because she wanted to find Vita. So she clearly has a lot of skill in the sense where she was given permission to leave, you know? But then she's just so like doubtful of herself a lot of the time when she's at Thor's. And I guess that makes sense because it's a whole new world for her too. On top of like, you know, her personality being a little meek. She's pretty meek at the beginning. Yeah, it's not just that, but just the whole like it is a whole new world. It's much different from Aaron Village, right? So yeah, I like how she goes from that in Cold Steel 1 to literally in like CS3 and CS4. She has so much confidence in herself. She learns to have confidence in herself, you know, to believe in herself more. And it's so cool to see her like take on McBurn's freaking flames all by herself. And like, you know, at the end of when they're in the Grawl and she's facing like Aryan Road and McBurn on, you know, just the three of them on their own, and she summons like the staff from her grandmother. That's so cool. That's so hype. But yeah, guys, like I understand, like I am also very much, I'm so mad at fucking Celine for that. Like the freaking cat gets way more, like that makes no sense to me. How the fuck is like the cat supposed to like know all this shit in CS2 and make Emma feel so shitty that she doesn't know anything? Like, oh, grandma didn't the grandmother didn't trust you with all this knowledge and stuff. Gosh, like I understand like the lore part of that, right? The lore part is that Celine is supposed to be technically the one taking over the village, no? If Rose ever like poofs, dies or whatever. In CS4 we learned that, right? Like Celine, yeah, so she's the successor. So in a way I can see maybe why they thought it was okay that Celine knows more than Emma, but it just even if there was supposed to be a lore reason behind that, I just don't think that was a good idea at all. To make it so that Emma looks like a freaking fool when it comes to magic or anything about that in CS2, you know. Celine was supposed to be the third Roselia if something bad went down. I see, yeah. Yeah, I remember that was very interesting to learn at that point in CS4. But alright guys, at last we are at our final ranking for today because, yeah, sorry, I had to like draw a cut, you know, somewhere because, oh my god, there's no way we're getting through all of these in one stream. We'll have to see. Oh shoot, how many have we done versus how many are left here? It might have to be 3. Oh no, what happened to the music? Yo, stop, continue watching. Hell yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's true, Em, and they're not even all of them. There's no new class 7 and all this stuff. There's no Cedric and everything. People who are bigger in CS4, so we have a lot to go. Good reminder. So, Estelle time. Estelle time. Oh, no. Well... people don't hate me. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. Estelle, oh man, Estelle is one of the like perfectly exemplifies how a character's personality, just because it's not my personal preference a lot of the time in personality, it's why she's knocked down just a tiny bit. So by that, I mean that Estelle, as a character, oh my god, yeah, she deserves to be in like the highest tier, because it's just her growth, her journey from FC, from literally like this kind of, I don't want to say airheaded girl, but she was so naive starting, you know, their FC journey. So naive, so like lots of flaws, like very hot-headed, very had a temper on her a lot, when was very rash, and that would get her and Joshua into problems a lot. So she had to learn, especially once Joshua left, that she has to, you know, act more mature now. She has to take the reins while she's on, you know, her freaking on her freaking like journey to finding her love, right? She learned so much from all the older adults in the party and stuff as she goes around with them, and also from just her journey, you know, and it's so great. Silently judging Scott, I'm sorry. Silently judging me. Yeah, I know, I'm being silently judged. How literally, like, how does this happen, guys? Crow is in the above tier while Estelle is just in much love. I'm sorry, guys. Like, her snark is amazing. I love that. I love her snarky lines. That's great, you know? But I think at the end of the day, it's just, I don't know, a big part of her personality too, it just doesn't really jive with me as much as some of these other characters. By personality, I mean, like, for example, a lot of the time she'll say things like less talking, more smacking around, or that whole, like, I have no idea what you guys are saying, can we just start fighting? Like, that kind of mentality is just like, I understand, that's her personally, and that's great, you know? But for me, as someone who clearly likes to overanalyze and like talk people's ears off about like philosophical symbolism and all this shit, like, it's just you know, it's not as like compatible. So that's why it's just like Estelle, she's just knocked a little bit lower than Angel tier, because it's just our personalities don't really, her personality isn't like super like I love Estelle kind of feeling, if that makes sense. Yeah, but I totally respect how far she's come from FC, and not even from FC all the way to like literally AO, when she freaking goes above and beyond trying to I don't want to say rescue, to freaking like accept Ren into a loving home and a loving family. Like, hell yeah, that's epic. Like, she has pretty much the best freaking story / character arcs ever, you know, in Trails. So sees Estelle is not top tier. Time for ultra violence. Yeah. Aw, Stephanie Shea is so great. Oh, dude, Mystery. Yo, take care. Have a good night. Tomorrow is P5S's Sophia birthday. Ah, also, guys, please, I will say this too. If you have not played Persona 5 Strikers yet and you like Persona 5, please play Strikers. Like, the pacing, the dynamics with the party members, the relevance of each of the characters, especially Yusuke and Haru, that was so fixed in Strikers. Like, it was such a good sequel. Like, I honestly think it's like the perfect sequel. Really. It fixed all of like the major problems I think people had when it came to narrative of the original P5. So please, this is a P5 Strikers PSA. If you haven't played it yet, please consider playing it. If you know you like P5 and you haven't played Strikers yet, please play it. Onegai shimasu. M says, I was playing it and then trails happened and then you went on your month-long trails like tangent, huh? That's amazing. Yeah. Victor says, I must insert the obligatory. McBurn is... What the heck? McBurn is Nayuta's body fused with a demon. What the hell? This is like weird territory of theory crafting. I have to say, I don't know enough about Nayuta for that. I've only watched some streams of Feb playing it. So, I do look forward to playing Nayuta when it comes out in the West officially. I will play that. Yeah. Judith and Reset is best new waifu, but truly, yeah, Judith. I can't help but also say, hey, out of all the ladies they've shown so far, I think I'm a Judith gal too. Hey, which by the way, if you haven't joined our Discord, we have a Judith emote in there. Just saying, guys. If you'd like to join us. Oh, where's the link? This is so sad. I don't have like a bot unlike Twitch. Twitch chat is so nice because my bot is there. But yeah, yo, if you want to join the Discord, we have a Judith emote in there, commissioned. A very good one, a snarky one. Yeah, but this is it. So let's save this right now. What should I call this? Freaking Kiseki characters part 1. Part 1. Wait, what the fuck just happened? Wait, why didn't it save it? Wait, what? Oh, okay. It for a second I was like, what just happened? Only crow. Yeah, I was so mad. So like, I have to look back at this footage, the stream footage, to like put everyone back in the tiers. Call it the bad cromance. Oh god. If it didn't save, you could fix your mistakes. What, everyone wanting me to move a certain character up, buff a character? I'm sorry, it's not happening. But we still love Estelle anyway, right? We still love Estelle. Yeah. But, dang guys. Thank you so much for freaking joining me on this first part 1 adventure. Oh my god, we have like that we have that song when like Thomas first, I forgot this was in the playlist. This is a song where like Thomas reveals, or not Thomas reveals, that guy in the brown coat in CS2 reveals he's Thomas. Yeah, and it's also Milliam's theme. That's true. Yeah. We should have a direct to talk about some really nice theories, like the outside, the identity of the Grandmaster, Toa, etc. Oh, we do have that. Let me find it, guys. Let me find the link to the Discord. I'm getting that right now in GL, guys. Because we do have like a like theory crafting place if you guys want. Oh, here, I found it. We do have like future trail speculation channel if you want like a community to join to talk about that kind of stuff with. But yeah, other than that, like we have a lot of stuff we just like talking about in the Discord, so we would love to have you guys, you know, if you haven't joined yet. Also, dude, guys, if you can, it would be great if you can freaking give the stream or the video a like, because YouTube likes the algorithms and likes that for the algorithms. They like the likes and all that shit, so that would be very grateful from me to you. Haha. Yo, Phantasmal Blaze, heck yeah. Yes, Anon, there's no spoilers in the Discord, unless you're looking for them, which then there are channels where you can talk about all the spoilers you want. But the general, throughout the Discord, no spoilers, yeah. Dude, love to hear it, Victor. Yeah, if you give it a try, we'd love to have you. That'd be great. Yeah, so the community will definitely very much appreciate you joining. But yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for joining me on this Saturday or Sunday for a lot of you guys who are farther farther east of me on the globe. Guys, I just hope you all have a very, very good rest of your night and a good rest of your weekend. Yeah, just take care, have a good summer, stay safe, everybody, especially because, you know, just be on the lookout. Remember to continue doing our COVID protocols at this point, because it is getting a little bit more dangerous again for all of us. So take care, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Have good health. And oyasubi nasai.